To finish off this year, I end with a quote. Pineapple goes on pizza just like tongues go into assholes. It's not for everybody, but those who enjoy it are a bit more sophisticated. Which is probably bullshit. That's just not nice anywhere. Anyways, we have a podcast to start. Hit it!
Battle the sexes.
Oh yeah, welcome back to Battle of the Sexes.
Welcome to Break Time on Westside, your number one break time podcast show coming to you from Nairobi, Kenya. The man on the mic is Sir Denver B, and we have gotten to the end of the year. For those of y'all that have survived 2019, y'all is alive, y'all is well, y'all is healthy. You should be happy, especially the kind of deaths that have been happening around 2019. You know, we've lost celebrities, we've lost friends. For the 2001 babies, you turned 18, and for the 2000 babies, y'all are just more than just an adult now, because you're 19. Also, if you existed all through 2019, it means that at some point in your life, especially if you got into adulthood, there's a good chance that you might be carrying a baby because you wanted a new iPhone. But then again, we're not going to doubt how you got it. It's just that you're going to have to explain to your kid how exactly they came to be, if it was because of love or if it was for something else. But anyways, that notwithstanding, I was on the internet last week and I came across this very interesting post, and it starts like this. Until very recently, my life revolved around career pursuits exclusively. I'd never had a girlfriend due to my extreme shyness towards women. Think of it as like the Indian guy from Big Bang Theory, although he did get hit on. I mean the guy. Recently, a new coworker started flirting with me. As usual, I panicked and tried to ignore her, but instead of giving up like the others before she increased the pressure. This gave me confidence and I gathered enough strength to ask her out. She accepted, surprise, surprise, and we've been going out for a few weeks. We're having an awesome time going out and we get along really well. On the other hand, it's been really tough learning all the ropes of a relationship, especially since I'm very socially awkward. I suspect high-functioning autism, but I don't care enough to get diagnosed. I told her this, but while she's understanding, she's still very demanding socially. Interesting. Now we're moving on to the sex stage. She tells me she really wants us to have sex and we frequently make out, but we've been unable to get past that stage. She thinks it's hilarious that a man my age, now this guy is 40 by the way, hasn't figured this out yet, while her younger ex was, according to her, an expert. She won't teach me because she says that it's a man's job to be in control of that situation. Basically, she told me that I need to figure this out ASAP. She even suggested YouTube, LOL. In all seriousness, I need help. Now that has been said, if you all wanted help, like, it's pretty easy. You know, listen to Break Time on Westside. Like, this is the place where you get such help. You know, if you go through the episodes, there's the talk and there's the talk part 2. Those ones gave a lot of information. But anyways, whether or not you're going to listen to this, I'm going to expound on it anyways. I don't know what the hell it is with shorties that hate, trying to teach guys the ropes. Because for the few girls that I have met and talked to about this whole matter, they usually tell me this whole thing of they're usually open to it. They actually prefer it because they can kind of tune the guy to their desires. Like, I'll teach him how he should pleasure me and he'll pleasure me well. And it usually sounds like it's a very, very good thing. But I've also met shorties, one or two, a couple of, I don't want to say diamonds in the rough because they're not exactly diamonds, who've come through and they've said, you know what, I'm not about to start teaching a guy stuff in bed. That's too much work. I want him when he's already made. Part of the reason why women would prefer marrying someone who has experience in the bedroom over someone who's a virgin, as opposed to us guys that are a little more nicer to virgins and we prefer to teach them, and we are open to getting a virgin to marry versus, getting someone who has a fuck ton of experience, because that means body count a lot of times. And if it means body count, it means, she might have been around quite a bit. That being said, though, Why the hell is it that women like to clown on us for some of the shit that we do or don't do in bed? Because it's not like Shorty's is perfect. Like, I need to say that straight up. Shorty's is not perfect at any point whatsoever. First of all, if y'all are listening to this for the first time, you probably don't know. But for those of y'all that have been listening to Break Time on Westside, y'all know me and oral have never gone that well together. Fellatio is not my cup of tea. And I'm not going to say that I hate it. I'm just not a fan, meaning that I wouldn't exactly ask for it, but at the same time, I would refuse it. That's just how it is. Me and fellatio, never been that good. And as much as I'm not the biggest fan of fellatio, I have to admit, there's women that do not know how to give fellatio. And it's just about the same number as the ones that complain that, the highest number of guys do not know where the G-spot is and they can't find shit. So when it comes down to it, I usually think to myself, you know what, I think if we all sat down and we educated each other, it would be a hell of a lot better. But these shorties really like to clown on us, so I might as well start clowning on a couple of shorties from here on out. Because if y'all don't know how it is that some of us guys are pleasured, I think you should ask. It's one of the few things that women never do. All of y'all assume that for a man, being pleasured is just, sticking the penis into the vagina, possibly giving some head before then, and then, riding that guy till kingdom come. Once the kingdom does come, pun intended, you're good to go and you've already satisfied them. The most that can probably happen is another 1-2 more rounds. If you're Genie Aiko, maybe you can try give yourself 9 rounds. Just saying. Highlights of 2019 and all. So it usually looks like it's just a one-way ticket, but guys are pleasured differently. Funny enough. And I am going to say this as a guy. We are pleasured differently. We all react differently. We're not that different from women. Because some women, just want you to stick the penis in. For some of them, they want you to do a lot more mouth work. I don't know what the hell for, but, well, apparently they want their lower lips to touch your upper lips, and then, magic can happen for them first. And y'all don't know how to pleasure men that well. I'm just gonna say. So for us guys, our sex usually ranges from great to okay. Okay sex is just, you just hit it and, you count. Great sex is, like probably she was wild, or probably you got to dominate either one of you and some shit happened. But at the end of it, like, if guys were to start discussing details, we'd probably realize that some of these shorties don't even know how to ride the dick. I just gotta say it. Some of these shorties don't know how to ride dick. It's not even about pussy size. It's not about the fact that it might be loose. Y'all just don't know how to ride dick. But anyways, since y'all never really want to teach us a lot of things, well, I'm not gonna bother teaching you until further notice. What I am going to say is there are some things that you should probably watch out for. I, for one, I'm super against teabags. At any point in time, if you ever listen to this and you're a woman and you want to pleasure me, do not touch my balls. Do not get close to them things. Because for real though, them things is delicate as hell. And I've had enough experiences with women getting close to my balls and causing me pain that I ended up not really wanting the sex that much. But because I'm a nigga and I still gotta fuck. I don't know the next time I'm gonna hit. So, of course, I had to let it happen. So, at that point in time, like, shorty is either sucking that shit or, she's grabbing that shit. And I don't think shorties understand. Like, I think to some level, shorties usually think that tits and balls are like the same. It's a bigger. But let me be honest with you. Balls are very different. As much as, if you massage your tits and, if you grab a couple of places in there, if you kiss them in there, it'll feel really good. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not the exact same thing with balls. If you squeeze a woman's tits and, you squeeze them in pretty nicely, just especially around that areola, play around with the nipple, it'll probably feel good. But with balls, you squeeze that shit, we feel pain. If you're a woman and you want to actually know how much pain you cause a man just by a simple hit on the balls, just go and tap his crotch at one point in time. Hopefully someone that y'all are very comfortable with. Go tap his crotch. If the guy doesn't at some point, like pull back and be like, ow, and, provided you hit the right area, which is the balls, even a simple tap is absolutely painful. Now, that being said, a shorty wants to go and suck on them things. And while she's sucking, she decides to put a bit of pressure on them. Guess how the fuck I'm going to feel? Or she decides to grab them things and then she decides to squeeze a little bit. Guess how the fuck I'm going to feel? So, of course it's not going to feel good. Hell, there's people that like BDSM and they take pleasure in pain and, they don't mind being whipped. But at no point in time will I ever come up and say, you know what, I like it when I get knocked in the balls, or I like it when my plums are squeezed. So obviously, because I know that's like one weak spot, fine, yes, it's a very vulnerable thing to do, blah, blah, blah. I do not want anyone getting close to my balls. My plums are the one place I think in sex that should not be grabbed by a woman. Grab everywhere else. Grab my booty. Don't touch my asshole. Leave that area as well. Grab booty. Grab the rest of my body. Grab my legs. Hell, grab my toes if you feel like. Back of my neck, ears, nose, mouth, everywhere. Nipples even. But don't you go for my plums. And I'm saying this because I have had more than one not so nice experience with my plums being, approached. Now, that being said, for this guy, of course, he doesn't know much about sex. And I'm sure there's a lot of guys that don't know that much about sex. So what I can tell you is go to Google Pornhub tutorials on how to have sex and how to eat pussy. Specifically, how to eat pussy. Because that one I was actually being told exists. There's actually videos on how to eat pussy on Pornhub, if I'm not wrong. And also, having sex is something that you can use any Kama Sutra book. I think that's like the most self-explanatory way to tell someone. Because, fine, yes, I get it. For a lot of ladies now, you expect the guy to at least know something. So if they're pleasuring you, they just don't pleasure you enough. But at least they know what it is that they are doing. So you're starting from somewhere. But if you find that a guy doesn't know, I feel as though it's a pretty good idea to, teach them something. That being said, I will not lie, virgins can be annoying. If you're a virgin and you're hearing this, I will tell this to you from the get-go, especially if you're a virgin woman. Do not, and I repeat, do not come to me with your idea of a fairy tale sex fantasy and expect it fulfilled. Fairy tales are in books and in Disney movies and Pixar movies that, well, they're pretty much more or less the same thing now, but you get the point. Do not come to me with some of them things, because I find that some of y'all will come through and then they'll want some type of fairy tale type of feeling with it. If it's sex, it's dirty, it's nasty, involves a lot of rough shit. Sometimes you can go soft and smooth, and sometimes you can be a little more gentle with it. Of course, there can be a bit of fantasy work into it, but it's easier to fulfill a porn fantasy in sex than it is to fulfill a fairy tale fantasy. By fairy tale, I mean, like candlelit evenings and shit. I will take you to a nigga's room, I will close the door, I will start taking off your clothes during foreplay, and I will hit that shit. And that's facts. So, as I tell it to you right now, ditch any fairy tale fantasies. Do not expect candle lights. Do not expect, I don't know, like some, special type of lingerie that men will wear. I've been told the best form of lingerie a man can wear is like a suit. But either way, y'all should stop expecting too damn much from sex. Sex is mostly, the physical act. It's when biology and chemistry meets physics. That is the best way I can describe sex for you, so that you can stop having too many damn fantasies. Now, that being said, though, am I down to teach a virgin on having sex? Probably. If they can ditch most of the fantasies out and they're down to trying stuff, yeah, I wouldn't mind. Because the way I see it, that's as some programmers would say, open source format. You can just go back in and, create stuff. You create the ideal type of person that you'd want to sleep with because they respond to stuff that make you feel good, not by stuff that they think make you feel good. And that's a pretty amazing thing. As opposed to a lot of these women who pretty much always think that, for us guys, it's just a simple, just stick the penis in and bounce on it a bunch of times, you'll probably come. Of course, for women, you bounce 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm tired. And then they'll tell you to get on top, and then you just and then you ram that thing a bunch of times and you expect to come. Trust me, a lot of guys don't even know what makes them tick. A lot of guys don't even know how to pleasure themselves because they've never tried a whole bunch of things. So yeah, be adventurous here and there. I'm totally down for that shit. Because as much as I can come through and I can complain about who can't do A, B, C, D, a lot of this stuff is actually discovered through being adventurous and sometimes exploring some of your own fantasies. Because like I told people the other day, in what men want, I think, if you have a certain fantasy, if you explore it, you might actually end up finding out that you didn't really want it that much. It was probably, influenced by something. So let's say, when you were in high school, you wanted a girl with big tits, and then you got a girl with big tits, and then you're like, you know what, I don't really want big tits per se. Maybe I want a big booty. Maybe all that made me want big tits was just the talk that most of my friends were having. Like, fantasies will actually give you a chance to explore that bit. So you might as well go learn most of that shit and move the fuck on. And that being said, women, you should actually try asking guys what it is that they want for a change. I have only ever been asked that by one woman in my entire sex life, in my entire life actually. Like, when a shorty comes through and she's like, what do you want? Trust me, most niggas won't even know what the hell to say. Because all they're used to doing is, they meet shorty takes off clothes, some fellatio is given on both ends, and then fucking happens. So the way I tell people, go try and learn each other if you're gonna go long term. Just try and just do your best to make sure it's memorable. Who the hell says that you can't do repeat visits? Who says a one night stand can't be a repeatable one night stand? But anyways, New Year's coming up, 2020 is coming through. Y'all should start having more of an open mind. Y'all should start listening to your guys, and y'all should actually start showing more love to each other and being better human beings, better citizens, and also better fuck buddies. Because the way this world is going, sex is becoming a standard of performance. And if you cannot perform well, then, well, you might end up being single for a very long time. Or, actually, correction, not being single, being alone. There's lots of single people that have a ton of fun. So yes, being alone. So as y'all work on your performance and as y'all are about to celebrate New Year's, I would like to wish all of you an amazing 2020. I will see you on Friday with the fan favorite section, of which I have one or two things to say about a few things here and there. But that will come when its time is there. Anyways, if y'all want to, send me some holiday cheers, tell me Happy New Year, you can do so on my private IG, at Unreal Kevin James. You can hit us up on at breaktime_westside to show your love, show your feedback, and share your thoughts. And also, on the IG and on Facebook, Breaktime on Westside. On Twitter, on my personal Twitter handle, it is at BagakaTheD. I will see you guys later.